Hello everybody once again, this is AikawaKazu. Welcome back to another Black Desert Online video. Today I'm going to be discussing and sharing with you my thoughts, behind the new energy node investment changes that's been introduced to us since last week with the new patch and the official one day after official release. So the new node changes is over here on screen, as you can see. For every node level raised by investing energy, item drop rate will increase by 5% for 10% of the monsters you defeat. For example, if your node level is 10, you will have a 50% higher item draw rate from 10% of the monsters you defeat. So only 10%. By 10% of the monsters you defeat will mean that if you defeat 10 monsters, the higher drop rate will be applied to one of the monsters. So they explain to you further what that actually means. This will not affect party drop items and junk items that always drop from the monsters. So things that always drop, like the miscellaneous items that you can trade for silver, for example. And I believe the amount of silver that you get from monsters stays the same. So that's the new thing. And basically, if you didn't know, this new change was very recent in the Korean servers, and I believe for any EU servers they got it in their latest update, which I believe was last week or something, and for us it was last week as well. So this new thing, this is basically a very new thing, and I'm not too sure if everybody knows about this. So I hope this video will help you have a better idea of what to expect in that sense. So I'll be sharing with you my experience pertaining to the abandoned monastery. Alright, my experience in abandoned monastery for 4 sessions of 2 hours grind, farming the Mark of Shadows from the Calpheon Shadow Knights. Alright, so I'll be sharing with you my loot drops and my experience. And I just want to put it out here that my experience might differ very differently from you. So I'm not saying that if you invest your node to level 5, you will definitely get what I actually get, because RNG is involved here and it only happens 10% of the time. So level 5 node investment, you're only looking at 25% increased item draw rate for 10% of the time, which is 1 in every 10 monsters in that sense. Alright, got my node levels to level 5. From level 4 to 5 is about 2000 energy thereabouts. I do not know the exact numbers, so getting to level 5 requires a decent amount of energy that I do not recommend you do so until you have actually done rerolling all your workers to at least the blue grade or the skilled level or higher. And once you have done your your worker empire and stuff, and you are ready to grind for a couple of hours for certain rare drops like the Mark of Shadows, then maybe you want to think about investing into this node. Or if you are done grinding here, if you want to grind in Medea, I have not done my own node investment over there. My friend Mizu Egu doesn't have a very positive sharing experience on mains. I think he got his main title to level 5 and he actually grinded the entire day. I do not know exactly how many hours. He didn't get a necklace or a belt, I think, and the next day he did get a necklace or belt. But compared to the Mark of Shadows, the gladiator necklace or belt is not worth as much, especially the belt. The belt is only like 3 mil, I think. The necklace is still 12.5, so it's quite nice. In any case, basically just know that your results might differ. And I think if you can share with me in the comments what's your experience if you have no energy investment in this particular node, share with me share with me your experience after I share with you my results. Right? Okay, so let's get to the sharing itself. So I did 4 separate 2-hour sessions. In my first 2-hour session, in fact it's less than 2-hour session, this is only level 4 node, mind you. So this was a 20% increased item draw rate for 10% of the time. I got 3 Mark of Shadows, I got a lot of Bearer's Rings, and Bearer's Rings are about 96,000 right now. 96,000 right now is the cost of a Bearer's Ring. As you can see, it's 100,000. So someone bought all the 96,000. So it's about 100,000 silver. And if you're wondering why I'm on a horse, because the background music for this area is kind of moody. Alright, so that's why I'm sitting on my horse, and look at this cat. Okay, I digress. So that's my first 2 hours. Alright, there you go. Second set of 2 hours, I got 4 Mark of Shadows. That's with a level 5 no investment here. This is when I got my level 5 no investment. And you can see a very healthy bunch of Bearer's Rings again. This time you see a bunch of Uriel weapons, long swords. In the previous one you see 2 staffs. And those staffs are worth about 280,000 silver right now. Definitely worth a decent bunch of silver as well on my third. So this is the part where it's important to share, right? I basically did the quote-unquote test in the sense that I wanted to make sure that I have a bad run. So this is where I got my bad run. I got zero Mark of Shadows in my third 2-hour grind. But you can see I got 3 amulets. Again, those are for sorcerers, very popular class right now. Pre-awakening 286,000 silver right now on the marketplace. I got another staff, I got another longsword. Again, you can see around 6 Barris rings, right? Bunch of talisman stuff. Those don't sell for a lot. Bunch of talus armor set pieces, as you can see as well on the first 2 instances. And finally, on my 4th 2-hour grind, this time you can see I made my inventory look a lot better here. 2 Mark of Shadows, again about 6 to 7 Barris rings, bunch of talus, armor pieces, a Urea longsword. Yep. And what you don't notice on the first 3 screenshots, because my inventory management is not that good, is that you notice that I have about 11 weapon / armor stones on my 4th. And I'll talk more about that later on. So for now, what you can see here is for about 8 hours, I got about 9 Mark of Shadows. So based on my experience, you're going to get around 1 Mark of Shadow per hour on average. Even though, as you can see, on my 3rd 2-hour grind, I got 0. So don't expect to really get 1 per hour, but you will average out. So if you have a bad day like me on the 3rd session, you can expect it to return to normal, on the next day. Or if you're super lucky on one of those days, don't expect your luck to continue, but who knows, it's all RNG, only applies 10% of the time. So as you can see on my second one, I got 14 armor pieces, and I actually did get about 4 weapon pieces as well. So this is where I think is very important. So even if you don't get the Mark of Shadow, the bottom line, that means the amount of silver you're gonna make from grinding over there, and I'm a warrior, I'm not the best grinding class overall in that sense. In 2 hours, I got, I would say, a decent amount of loot overall. On average, you get about 600,000 to 700,000 silver. The 3rd session, you can see that it's because I actually deposited via my storage mate 500,000 silver, which is the cap per storage mate in that sense. So actually for my 3rd session, I got about 650,000 as well. So you average out about 600,000 silver just from looting. And then you get all the barrel swings, which can sell for 100,000 each on average. And you can see you basically make a decent amount of silver per hour over there, even without the Mark of Shadows. And if you get the Mark of Shadows, it's jackpot. That's 12.5 mil of silver. So that's pretty nice. Alright. So my conclusion over this is, maybe one Mark of Shadow per hour on average. You'll get at least around 7 to 12 weapon / armor stones. That means both of them add up to about 7 to 12. Consistently, I always get more armor stones than weapon stones. As you can see on the second screenshot, I think the drop rate is definitely higher for armor stones compared to weapon stones. They want weapon stones to be more rare. I would believe that's the case across all the board when I've played the game so far. So expect around, 7 armor stones. But you can see on the 4th run, I got more weapon stones than armor stones. Maybe it's all half-half, who knows, right? Probably half-half, I guess. I'm not too sure. But yeah, those are my results, and don't worry, I'll be sharing with you where I actually farm. So that is a level 5 node investment. I believe that if I get it to level 10, I might get a more consistent Mark of Shadow. I might not get more per 2 hours, but I might be able to make it more consistent. That means you will really see 1 Mark of Shadow per hour, since 50% increase item drop rate per, 10% of the time is definitely something that's significant. Okay, so where do I grind here? So the Abandoned Monastery, how do you know that this is the node that affects the place that you're grinding? You have to first take a look at the top right corner of your mini-map. Abandoned Monastery, affiliated node, Abandoned Monastery. So when you step out of this area or into the grinding spot itself, make sure you look at the top right. For example, if you're not going to invest energy into this node, but another node outside of this area, that means any other area in Black Desert Online, there are very weird instances. For example, let me give you an example where the Rumbling Land node actually affects the area around the Canyon of Corruption. So make sure you take a good look at the top right corner of the minimap before deciding which node to invest your energy in. Alright, it's based off the affiliated node on the top right, so make sure you check that out first before you invest your energy. Don't make that mistake. And basically the spot that I grind in, there's 2 different spots. One, which is a party spot, which is where the quest line will actually bring you to around directly, about 3 o'clock down a little bit along the mountain. That is like the spot that everybody will go to. It's actually a good party grinding spot if you want to go over there. But if you want a nice solo spot, it's basically about 5 o'clock from where the Abandoned Monastery is. So I'm just going to show you the 5 o'clock spot here. Alright. And Even though now it's kind of wee hours, I'm recording this at 6 a.m. I did do my 2-hour grinding session on stream at around 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So it's not like I'm grinding in the wee hours and there's nobody grinding there right now. But the reason why people are not grinding there at the moment is mainly because media is out, and most of the strong players, the hardcore players who wants XPs, they actually go to media to grind at helms, you know, that kind of stuff. Wait, am I running correctly? Yes, I think so. I might have overshot. Okay, I overshot a little. So about 4:30, 5 o'clock from Abandoned Monastery, you will see, yeah, the cave is over there. I overshot. So it's good to just go 4 o'clock or 3:30 and just go along the mountain until you find this entrance. I'm just going to show you one rotation real quick. Yep, if you want a group grinding spot, just go backwards along the mountain and you'll be able to find the spot. Yep. So this is a really nice solo grinding spot. It's not really a secret, so it's not like, oh, Kazu, you just exposed my secret grinding spot. People have been grinding here all the time. I've been playing since early access day 1, so I know what's going on. I was around when there was only 3 servers, I mean 3 channels in that sense, and I was around now when there's 5 channels. And I can definitely say for sure that this solo grinding spot has a lesser chance of people stumbling in, because again, most of the hardcore players, they moved on to Medea. Sometimes you might meet a guy that's bought, you know, who's like fully decked out, 300 plus gear score. My gear score is about 289 right now, not really a 291 I think. I just have a +2 because I prime my mid sharing. But basically sometimes you might meet some guy who's bored, he killed too many people in Hexay Sanctuary for example, and he's here to farm karma. It's a chill spot. If not, usually you should be able to find a channel with nobody grinding here. Yeah. And if you're like, you know, the wee hours grinder like me, sometimes if I just want to make sure that, you know, the best chance to have nobody to be in the spot in that sense, right? Then you can come and grind the wee hours. But not all of us have the opportunity, right? So this I'm just sharing with you where I'm grinding, and hopefully you're able to find a spot. Yeah, most of my viewers are able to find a spot. Sometimes they go to the area where the quest line brings them. Yeah. Because you don't actually have an auto path to this, what they call secret cave. Not really a secret anymore, because on day 2 or 3, people already knew about the cave. There was a ranger, there was a berserker that was here. I was killed by the berserker before. I was chased away by the ranger, and not too sure if I mentioned this at the start of the video, but yeah, level 5, no investment definitely. For me at least, I can very easily see a huge difference. Yeah. A huge difference in terms of the bottom line loot drop, right? Looking at more equipment drops, more armor stones, more weapon stones. You can grind. For example, I do guild quests. We kill 2,000 Shiens, for example, and you maybe get 1 or 2 armor stones. But over here, I think in 2,000 Shadow Knights you kill. I'm not too sure how long that takes, but definitely you'll see a nice increase of the bottom line loot. Definitely get more consistent loot. You might not get Mark of Shadows, as I mentioned, like my 3rd day I got 0 Mark of Shadows, right? So basically that's like my rotation. You can see in 2 hours I am not the most efficient grinder. I think Rangers grind is really fast compared to me. Yep. So there's elites as well, 2 elites that spawn, and they give you, like, I got a crystal for enhancement earlier on. You usually grind them up to get blackstone powder for, you know, future content, which is why Media Abandoned Mines is a nice spot to grind, because you can grind a nice healthy amount of elites over there, and they drop a crystal covered with ash or something, and that guarantees a crystal which you can, you know, grind. So that's one rotation, and that's the grinding spot here. I don't want to take too much of your time, but yeah. So level 5, no investment. I share the view. It's up to you to make your own decisions. Let me know in the comments. What's your experience when you grind here without the level 5 no investment? You'll be like, Kazu, I got 5 Mark of Shadows in 1 hour. Your no investment is useless. That's what I mean. Sometimes people get really lucky. I've seen this guy from Q on site. He got like super negative karma. Makes me wonder if negative karma actually increases your job rate or something. I'm not too sure. Maybe it does. he got I think 5 or 4 Mouth of Shadows in less than 1 hour. Like you just keep seeing his name pop up. Maybe he has a level 10 no investment, who knows, I don't know, but I've seen people who get insanely lucky. Sometimes you'll notice that someone get like a double drop, like 2 Mouth of Shadows in a row. The fastest I ever got Mouth of Shadows in my 4 Mouth of Shadow run was like 1. My first Mouth of Shadows was on the 54th minute, and then 10 minutes later I got 1, 10 minutes later I got 1, 20 minutes later I got 1. So that's like my what I call Mouth of Shadows drop luck, I guess. But that's the best I've got. I never gotten like back to back. I've seen people getting back to back within like 2 or 3 minutes. I've never gotten back to back. But yeah, that's my experience for level 5 loan investment on the abandoned monastery. As always, if you want to check out our community, I have a Discord channel or /community. Very positive bunch of people. Links in the comments. Links in the description below. And if you want to check out my stream, twitch.tv/Kazu Aikawa, I stream every day, and I stream a lot of Black Desert Online right now. 7 PM GMT plus 8 for 7 to 8 hours every day. If you want to check that out, again, links in the description below. If not, thanks for watching once again. God bless, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next one. Bye bye.